Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. How are we doing? Welcome on in, Strawberry Moon. How are you doing? I talked about this last stream, but I'm really excited to say that we now have a daily point redemption, and I'm super excited about that. Drink your water. Okay, hang on. All right, water has been consumed. How's everyone doing today? I just got home from work. It's been a very chaotic day. How the turns table? Exactly, how the turns table. Hang on. No, I'm the one watering you. So it seems. You'll have to see it. Alright, but yeah, welcome on in, everyone. Okay, so, I will not lie. In between last stream and this stream, it's not even been like 24 hours. I have been cooking up a new idea. And it relates a lot to what we did last stream. Or not last stream. Was it last stream? Last Music Monday is what I mean. No, it was a couple days ago, I want to say. Or a couple... I don't remember. I have lost track of time. Either way, okay. I'm going to be pulling up a document, and I'm going to be explaining sort of what happened, what my thought process is. So let's go ahead and let's jump in. I'm going to go ahead and pause the music temporarily. Thank you so much for lurking, Moon. It's always lovely to see you around here. So if you guys were here a couple weeks ago, we wrote a concept art challenge piece. If you're not familiar, a concept art challenge piece is where we take a piece of art that we find online, and we give ourselves the challenge of 1 hour to write music for it. And that's cool and all, but the problem is I don't see the piece until that timer starts, which is the real challenge. Is I had to make a 2-minute piece. That sounds good in 1 hour. So this is the last piece we wrote. I think this was early October that we did this, and I want to get another one done next month. I want to start making this a monthly challenge because it's fun that way. But this got me thinking, so I'm going to play this in the background, and I'm sort of going to explain my idea. That's spoilers. Hang on, let me just see if I have the piece of concept art to share because I know I have it somewhere. This one. Yeah. Open up the link. So this is the piece of concept art that inspired this track in particular. Make sure I got everything right. Okay, everything looks good for now. Okay, so I've not heard the song in a hot second. I'm actually pretty happy with how it still sounds. Considering the circumstance of everything, I think this is one of the better tracks that ended up coming out of the challenge. So, I went back and listened to the song yesterday night as I was just sort of cleaning up some documents and overall getting an idea for what I wanted to do today. And I had an epiphany. So, if you guys have been around the channel for the last 2 years, we have been working on this soundtrack called Deep Space. I'm going to pull it up here very quickly just to show it off. So Deep Space is... holy crap! Wait, what? Sorry, I did not realize some of these tracks already reached 1,000. And Signal Found is above 2,000. Huge thank you to everyone who's been listening to this album, by the way. So Deep Space is a standalone soundtrack that tells the story of a sci-fi adventure through the stars. Let me quickly go ahead and... Where is it? Whoop, hang on. So this was our document that we made for Deep Space. We have the whole story written out here. We have some thoughts that we want to work into the story. And then we have all of our key points that we want to hit for something like this. And sort of explain, like, where the story's going, how we effectively communicate it. And so I was like, yeah, that's cool. We've done 3 of these so far. 2 of them so far. 2? I'll say 2.5, technically. Worlds Beyond Our Own was the first version. It is 6 songs, 18 minutes long. It is a story of a fantasy world. Someone going to this new world, trying to seek answers or trying to run away from his troubles and trying to find what the meaning is of the purpose of life. And I really love this album. It is high quality. So I set out to make Deep Space as the sequel, the next successor to Worlds Beyond Our Own, and I think it did a fantastic job. We have a soundtrack here that talks about the mysteries of life in the universe, where we sit and everything, and what it means to be so small and finite. Like, it's so good. I am really happy with how the soundtrack turned out. And then we have another one that's sort of got... It's really fun, I will not lie, but I don't think it stands on the same level as these two. So this is Inside My World. Inside My World was more of a video game style soundtrack about what it's like to travel inside, what it's like to look inside the imagination of a child. So we have the main theme, and then we have 4 different concepts or imagination islands, as I will call them, inside a child's mind, and then we end it with the outro, which, if you listen, will cycle right back to the beginning. So it's a really cool little story. It's not as detailed as the other 2, but I still really like it. So I consider it the 2.5. And now I want to start a third one. I want to go back in and I want to start a new project. Even though we just finished up one before, I think I've hit a new idea. This one specifically revolves around this track and this concept art right here as sort of the start of everything. So the idea is I want to create a wasteland um grunge like synth heavy soundtrack and tell a story about these rival civilizations that have to find resolution, otherwise they're both gonna die. And so I think that's what I want to work on now. That's just the basic, like, most straightforward premise. I want there to be a decent amount of tracks. So let's go back to the track count very quickly. Inside My World had 6. Worlds of Our Own had 6. Deep Space is the largest with 10 technically, but there are 2 bonus tracks on tacked onto the end that I really like. So yeah, we have 10 tracks here. I doing a story this big, talking about 2 different civilizations and figuring out the instrumentation of each, figuring out the soundscape of each, like how they're gonna mesh well, their motifs, their harmonies, and their general um their general vibes. That's gonna take a while, but I think at the end of it, I want 16 tracks at the at the lowest. Maybe this might get upwards of 24, which I think if it were 24, it would be my largest album yet. The one that's currently the largest right now is Minecraft Reimagined, sitting at 22 tracks, 1 hour long. If I beat that, holy crap, man, that'd be awesome. Building a soundtrack that big. But I keep in mind that I don't want this to feel bloated. I don't want this to feel like there's excess songs that shouldn't be here. So the idea is trying to make everything sound needed, everything to sound part of the story without needing to like say, "Oh, why is this here? What does this mean? Like what's going on in the story?" So it's stuff like that that really like defined Deep Space, for example. Because if we go back to that, we have Signal Found, which is the beginning track. This won't be a smooth ride, which is the traveling transition in between Earth and Planet One. We got Planet One surface, Planet One caves. We've got lore of the civilization that we're following. We got a holographic message that is the catalyst to the next planet. We got travel song number 2, Planet 2, and then the big finale. And then we have an epilogue, just because I really wanted to end it on like a softer note. But everything here has a purpose in telling the story. You can read this right here. You will see exactly where everything falls into place and how it relates, how each song relates, which is why we did this in the first place. The key points to hit. I wanted to line out everything that mattered for the album in order to make it work. So we're gonna be doing that again, but this time it's gonna be with a wasteland like scrap punk type sound, and I'm super excited because I don't think I've touched scrap punk at all. A lot of my stuff is more like bliss, like orchestral electronic. No, we're gonna dive heavily into synths. Synths. We're gonna dive. We're gonna dig our heels in pretty much to like finding more dirty sounds. Like what was it? Was it this one? No. Like this. If I had to pick an instrument that would last through the soundtrack, it'd probably be this. Getting those more metallic sounds in there. Getting these harsher tones. So that's what I am planning on doing next. How long is this going to take? I don't know. Considering Deep Space took about 2 years to make, and that was just 10 songs, I wouldn't be surprised if this takes upwards of 3 years, I want to say. And I say that because I want people to join for the journey. I want people to be here when stuff is happening, to follow along and to understand sort of what the process is, how we are getting there, and just overall learning the process of what it takes to build a story out of music. Because I feel like that's a skill that I think I have a pretty good grasp on, and I'm more than happy to share it with people. I'm more than happy with being able to share that creativity, and help people sort of understand where ideas like this can come from and sort of how stuff works. But that is on the docket for later. I want to start that probably in December or start it on New Year, in the new year. I'm a little bit strapped for time at the moment, so unfortunately I cannot do that. But it will be happening. It will be coming soon. What I need to do right now is I need to start writing. I need to start finding sounds that I like, because that's how Deep Space started. It started off of one track in particular. I'm not gonna look it up. I'm just gonna open up a new document that we're gonna work on today. It started off Message from Deep Space. I created that track and I'm like, okay, this is a really good track. I want to make more of it. And it snowballed. I was like, okay, I want to create a full story out of this. Okay, I want to create a whole soundtrack based off of this. So building off of foundations are very important, and I want to make sure that I get the foundation right. This track that we just listened to is good. Don't get me wrong, but it needs to be refined in order for it to stand on its own. Which is why I have a document here that, while I said was spoiler heavy, it's actually not. There's nothing in it. All that I have right here is synth driven, grunge / metallic, and still keeping the orchestral elements that we know, or that are very identifiable to me and my writing style. Yes, I want it to sound different. Yes, I want it to sound very new to the people that listen to my music. I might mess up. There's a good chance I'm going to mess up. But what's important is knowing that I'm willing to try and step out of my comfort zone for something like this. I also want to write a Western one, because we wrote a Western track at the beginning of the year that I still really love. But I feel like Western's not going to be as strong to me as a scrap punk type story. Like, sure, I want to do it, but I don't know if I have the skills to do Western just yet. And that might sound a little silly, being like, oh, like, what's the difference with Western and what's the difference with scrap punk? Like, how exactly is it any different learning a new genre compared to learning this genre? What's up, Buster? Welcome on in. We're talking about a new project that we're starting sometime in the next couple of months. And the difference is that, for me personally, what I do revolves heavily around what I like to do. I'm going to record a horror video. Oh, is that tonight? Oh, I remember you talking about that. I am so terribly sorry that I cannot make it, Buster. I'm sorry. Was this mentioned anywhere? Not really? Okay. I had a feeling that, like, I remember you mentioning it offhandedly. I don't remember if you mentioned it, like, mentioned locking in a date for that. Okay. Um I think in VC I asked you about it. Was it in VC? And then you could after work. Was that today or was that tomorrow? Because I Oh, well, I wouldn't be able to tomorrow. I have plans tomorrow. I don't know what day you work for. Okay, I work for you, Buster. Monday through Friday. I work weekdays. Um, and I get out in the evenings. I'm not gonna say what time, publicly, but it is consistent. I work 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Okay. Um, So I want to listen to this again. I did a little bit of work on this on Saturday, which this is one of the reasons why I couldn't stream is because I was so wrapped up with this. But I want to finish this today, and I will sort of explain what this is in a second. But I want to play through it first. Of course. All right, tell you what, we'll freeze this in a second. We'll give that a hot second to freeze, just so we don't need to worry about the CPU power on it. I am investing in a new computer as we speak. I genuinely cannot stand this, so we're getting a new computer. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I remember. So I saw I think it was I think it was like $2,000 worth of plugins specifically for orchestra, but it was marked down to like $500. And I went and I added a student discount onto it, and it got even lower to like 200. I'm like, do I cop this? Is this something worth copying? It's so much. I am heavily considering it. You might see a few plugins shift around, if I do end up copying it, because it's like $200 for me, but the sale price is like 1,800 or something. Okay, so we've heard what it is. We've heard what it sounds like. What is it? This is a piece that I'm being commissioned to write as outro music for something. I'm not going to say exactly what it is just yet until I get permission, but this will be the outro of a series. And I'm super excited because I've worked on this quite a bit, and I'm actually really happy with how it's turning out. Overall, just like the commission is going really well, and I'm really happy to sort of share this live and to be working on it a bit. So I think overall, what we need to do right now is mixing. Mixing is a huge problem with this because everything is just so all over the place. I also want to add a bit more harmonies into it. We have a lot of chords here. And we have this sort of pulsing arpeggiation underneath, which is sort of where this whole idea spawned off of. But I also want to change out the sample because I'm really not liking some of this. Yeah, go ahead and duplicate that for me. We're gonna change out this to this. I think you already know where this is going. This. I want to hear how this sounds very quickly. Let's just play it. Okay, interesting. Wait, what is this? Why is this all the way up here? Oh, these were original ideas for what I was thinking of. It's always cool to find some ideas that I completely forget about. I keep them in the project file for this specific reason. I think they're just cool to listen to. I was trying out something interesting with 5-note scales. I'm trying to see where that would get. But it didn't seem to land. I need to make this brighter. Oh, that's right. I want to turn these up. Whoa, hang on, not contact. That's not the one I wanted. I wanted fat filter. Do me a favor, turn this off for now. So I have a better idea of what this sounds like. If I wanted to clean this up, what are my options? Instruments, do I have a piano one here? No, it's just guitars. Great, thanks for that, I guess. This would make this dynamic. Let's hear it in context. Four, right? Yeah. Was I hearing on this again? Yeah, okay, I'm liking that a little bit better. And I want more harmonies with this line here. Yeah, let's try that. I like that. Try that. Yeah, okay, so then we had the harmony here. Nice, okay. Yes? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm liking where this is going. Let's try that. I just want to hear that in its entirety. Okay, hang on. Maybe I should have probably done this on a different line. It's fine. Everything but the playlists. There we go. We'll take these. Whoa, hang on. Hang on a second. We'll put these back the way they were. Just so I have an idea of what they were supposed to sound like. Right? Perfect. Okay. And then here we'll do the same thing, but in verse. So it'll just be the harmonies. Hang on, wait. I think that's a harmony. Welcome back, Buster. The recording has been delayed to 9:30 so Bug can join. What time is it now? It's almost 9. I don't know if I'll be there at 9:30. If you guys are still recording or like are just barely in, I might join. Yeah, that's gonna depend on a lot of things as to like where we're at in this stream versus everything else. The concept is that when any one of us dies, the video ends. It's a horror mod pack. Ah, okay. So I think y'all be done by the time I get there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, but that will be interesting. Regardless of if I'm there or not, I will watch it. Also, I see that you have told me things in the footage that you sent. I'm editing while waiting for Bug. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I did leave you some notes in the footage. There aren't a whole lot. I think there's like maybe 4 or 5 that I could think of. Some at the beginning, and then I like throughout the video, like sprinkled a few notes that I wanted. But yeah, how's that going, Buster? By the way, everything going good? Took me like an hour to download. Yeah, it's kind of a big file. Sorry about that. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a slow day for internet. Also, yeah, I'm liking that harmony. That harmony's pretty nice. Whoa. That C needs to change to something. Let's do an A. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's go and let's try this very quickly. I need both of these solo just temporarily so I can focus on these. What is that? So D to a C sharp. Not the biggest fan of that. I kind of like that. It's a different palette almost. So the pairing is very interesting here. We start off with a C and a B over an F and an E. And then we switch it to a D and a C over an F and an E. It creates this really interesting harmonization to it. I kind of like that too, though. We might go with that, actually. Welcome on in, Emerald. Rule 148. Okay, I'm going to pull out the phone. I don't want to scroll through Discord at the moment, so we're going to do it this way. Here, I'll let this play very quickly while I find it. Okay, I forgot I need to unsolo these. Let's try that one more time while I find this rule. $148. Oh, we're on rule 300. Was that my first message today? I think it was. By the way, guys, as a reminder, we do have a daily redemption now. If you guys want to redeem that for just 1 grain of sand, or 1 hourglass for 1 grain of sand. here for 20 minutes enjoying the music. Well, I thank you so much for being here and enjoying the music. Rule number 148, no NBA. That's great. We don't allow the NBA in our Discord server, or in our Twitch stream. That is. That's great. What was the last rule? 384. Okay, so we're currently at rule 384, which is absolutely vile that we've gotten that far. Okay, but in terms of what we were doing here, I actually really like this. This is really cool. I'm really happy that we're doing what we are. Is there anything else I want to add to this, though, is the question. I don't want it to be completely overwhelming, but That's a cool DAW. Thank you. It is Pro Tools by Avid. Usually what I will do is when I get close to the end of a song, I will start like color coding everything. So I'll make this orange. I'll make all this orange. This red. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. This one is going to go black because I don't have... It's currently not in use right now. And it'll go to the bottom. This should be going up here. And then I also will put names on everything. Make you yellow because you're also a string instrument. What am I looking at here? Piano? It'll be a darker red. I like color coding everything because it just looks nice. It's more organized that way. It's also easier to tell, like, sort of what's happening and what's doing what to those who don't know the software that well. But I am certified in Pro Tools. I am a... I don't even know. How do I search that up? Pro Tools Specialist certification. I don't know. Is that where I find it? I think this is where I go. I'm honestly not entirely sure. Certifications. User. Can I... How do I do this? Can I find myself? Probably not. But I do have my certification somewhere. Is it? Hang on. I might have it on this computer. Is it in my... Yep. Okay. I have my certificate right here. I'm really happy that I got certified in Pro Tools. Now I'm sort of stuck with it. No, I'm just kidding. But it did take a decent amount of work in order to get that certification and to be trained in it. So I'm really happy that I can go to a lot of different places that do music, and I'll say, hey, take a look at this, and they'll be like, oh, wow, you know what you're doing. I'll be like, yeah, I sort of do. But learning Pro Tools has been a challenge, an uphill challenge, considering I'm all self-taught and I do not have a like strong background in it. This thing is giving me a headache. I'm gonna get rid of it. We're not even using this plugin, which is what takes drastic loading times. You will also get no color. You get a red, like the symbol. Wrong color. It's this one. You're purple. And yeah, we do that for every track, but I'm not gonna go too deep into that right now. Let me listen to this again for mixing purposes. I just want to hear where we are with everything. Yeah, cause I believe, let me check my list of stuff here. I have some notes here that I need to check against, just to make sure that this is following everything that the client wanted. More strings and bass to give a moody feel. So we don't want everything. We don't want this too bright, which means I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add an EQ to this, sort of take away some of that brightness. We're gonna do the same thing over here. Okay, let me hear this now. Ah, nards. Okay, that's gonna be a small problem. Noah, I have an image I want to use at some point where you say I smell profit. You look at Discord. Hang on, what? You want to use this image? You want to use this image? You know what? If you're content with it, go for it. I don't see a problem with it. I smell profit, and it's just this. Go for it, Buster. You have my permission. If you see a funny bit, yeah, run it by me, and then and then we'll go from there. I need this thing to stop running out of CPU power. Okay, this will need to come down a lot sooner because we don't have that resolving chord on it. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm kind of liking this. It's not bad at all. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that we need after this? I don't think there's any like Hmm. me hear that again. Okay, let's go from here for a second. I need to listen to this. Yes, I know you're running on a CPU. Where's my mouse? Where'd that go? Hello? Okay, I see it on my bottom monitor, but not the top one. Okay. Where to go? Alright, I guess we just don't have a mouse anymore. That's cool, I guess. There we go. Okay, I worked my way through it. We did it. This needs to go down. Wait, are these the vocals? What the? Why are they so loud? Okay, hang on. What is the buffer size of this? Why on earth are we having so many issues? I'm gonna turn it to 1024 and hope that that solves the issue. Let's go ahead and bring this whole section down. We don't really need it that high. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that. I think this is in a really good state where we can call that here. I don't think there's anything else I really want to change to it. Let's listen through this again. I'm gonna turn that section up a little bit. Yeah, no, I think that's pretty good. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and submit this to the client. And yeah, let me go ahead and make an export of this. No, actually, I think I'm going to not do that. Yeah, I'm going to not do that. I want to look over this piece again because we were talking about it earlier and the idea of a Western project. Honestly, working on the commission was pretty much the only thing that I had on the docket for today. So I think everything else now is just sort of going to be, oh, hey, we have this. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's look at where we are. So this was a concept art piece that we wrote towards the beginning of the year. I think it was in January or February that we wrote this, and I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. And I would not be mad making a Western soundtrack like this. By the way, this will also be going into the Sounding Games Volume 4. Releasing, I believe, the 24th? Is that the day? 26th of November. Technically on Christmas. I'm actually releasing it a week early because I don't want it being released around on Christmas. Let me find the concept art that this was inspired by, because this was actually a really good piece, and I really enjoyed it. This is the piece that inspired the music. And man, do I love this piece. It is so good. I am so excited for this one in particular to go up on streaming services because man, I really like this. I think okay, so in the past, I've been really relying on word of mouth and people sort of sharing around the music. I am happy to say I am putting more of a budget into advertising and actually doing ad placements for stuff like this. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. I think the soundtracks will get more budget on Spotify. The vocal, like pop stuff, will get more ad space on Instagram and YouTube Shorts and TikTok, stuff like that. Because that's sort of where I want to pull audiences from. Spotify, I think I do really well pulling audiences for the instrumental stuff, just based on statistics and where people are coming from. So I'm really trying to maximize where my reach is and trying to figure out what the best way to get people to listen is. And yeah, I think the way that that's going is pretty good. But there's one part here that I really like. It's right here. I love those vocals for some reason so much. It's just something in my brain. Something about just the vocals that I used on this, that one part. This part right here. The way they're mixed or something. There is something magical happening there that I just cannot seem to grasp. That is lightning in a bottle type of like perfection. But yeah, much like the Scrap Punk song that we looked at the beginning, this song makes me really want to write a Western film, but like a really cinematic and like emotional Western film. I think I could do it. I think it'd be really fun. But I think I that will have to be shelved for a little bit while I focus on the Scrap Punk first. Because I think it's gonna be a little harder to get into the Western side of things because it's mainly guitar focused. Versus something guitar vocals and like strings, I guess, is the way I would go with that. Based on everything that we're listening to here. And whatever this is. Is this Siberian office? Siberian post office at night, yeah. I also really like these chime samples that I personally got. Um, my mother used to be a music teacher at a middle school, and so she had a set of chimes, in the classroom. And around the time that I started writing music was around the time that she was starting to wind down from her job. And so, I believe it was in 2020, shortly after things started, uh, and we were all stuck inside. We went back to the theater, or to her classroom, and we started cleaning stuff out and getting ready to for her to leave. And so I saw the chimes in the corner of the room, and I was like, "Hey, Mama, do you mind if I grab a quick sample of those?" She was like, "Yeah, go for it." And it came out so beautifully. That was on a phone, mind you, not this one. I think it was on a like an iPhone 14 or something. 14, maybe even like 11. Um, and it's just like I've been wanting to find a use for that sample, and I'm so glad that this was the perfect time to use it. Because I'm like, that fits perfectly. I've been sitting on that sample for like 5 years at this point, and I haven't used it until now. It's beautiful. It's great. I love this track. I love this track. It is so good. Also, I think I want to find one more track in particular that I haven't opened in a while, but I know people will want to hear. Oh crap, what did I call it? Oh, it has a 4 in the name, that's right. Save changes. Don't save. I don't think we did anything important. Okay, so while this opens, I'm gonna sort of explain what this is. I worked on a short film back in August. I had forward. I was working as the music composer, the audio capturer, and the what? Okay, I don't know if those are important, but we'll find out later. Okay, so my idea what was I talking about? So I worked on this film, called Truth or Dare. Fran was the director and writer of it. I was the audio capture and music composer for the film. And we had this idea of, okay, for this Truth or Dare scene, we've got like 4 to 5 girls, and they're all going to be playing Truth or Dare. We're gonna start off the scene with like a goofy radio pop song, something cheesy, and I was like, okay, let me start writing. And it took me 20 minutes, and I was done with the main concept. I came home, and I wrote this song until 5 a.m. and spent the next 8 hours on site filming this thing. Running on little sleep, mind you, but I'm still surprised with how the song came out, and people seem to really like it. So I said I would make a post on social media and see how people react to the song. I haven't done that yet. I said I would do that in September, and it's now practically November. So it will be dropping on streaming platforms if it gets enough attention. And that was the promise I made to the team that I worked with, the actors that I was working with, because they also seemed to really like the song. So I said I would release the song if it got enough, traction. Let's take a listen. Let me hear what you guys think of this track. This is unnamed at the minute. We also need a name for it.
I've been addicted to your side. Every time you walk on by, swear there's something in your eyes.
You can never record those vocals.
How to make my knees feel weak every time I hear you speak.
These were recorded at
life without you seems so bleak.
3 to 4 a.m.
You know, with the way you look at me, I can tell you've got to be the one to set me free. Oh, and I know I've got to learn how to not be so concerned and have you be the one I earned. Oh, don't ever think I'll disappear. When you see me crystal clear, I'll be standing right here for you. I can't get you off my mind. You're a treasure lost to time. Walk across the desert blind for you. With the way you look at me, I can tell you've got to be the one to set me free. Oh, and I know I've got to learn how to not be so concerned and have you be the one I earned. Oh, with the way you look at me, I can tell you've got to be the one to set me free. Oh, and I know I've got to learn how to not be so concerned.
We're about to start recording something to minimize this. Thank you so much for sticking around, Buster. And yeah, go have fun recording. I might join to see how the outcome is, depending on how we are. But yeah. Good luck. Godspeed to you. Hope you last more than 15 minutes. Alright, but what I want to do right now is I sort of want to take a look at this track and see like what needs to get mixed. Because holy crap, the mixing is atrocious. It was never meant to be mixed, in all honesty. So now that I've said that I would put this out, I kind of got to work on it. And I've been putting that off for a hot second, fellas. I mean, to be fair, this song's been sitting like this, in this exact same shape, for roughly 3 months. And even at the film premiere, I said it would be done. It's not. The film premiere was like 2 months ago at this point. It was like August 8th or something, or September 8th at this point. Also, we won an award for this short film, which is really cool. I forget what it was. It was a like community choice award or something. Which was absolutely fantastic that we did that. Anyway, so yeah, I want to listen to the everything but the vocals basically, and just sort of hear where we are with everything. What are you doing? Why are you automated? What are you doing? Oh, I see. Oh, you're a little goober, aren't you? I did not mean to open Guitar Rig on top of that. I thought I clicked Pro Q, but apparently you don't have one. That's the wrong one. I didn't mean to put that one on. I mean, unless everything's decently in time. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna duplicate these. I'm gonna make them more clean sounding. As sort of like a way of like layering. So yeah, let's go and let's duplicate. Keep the active playlist. Yes. And the idea here is that we're gonna take this, but we're gonna turn. Do I just want to take out the insert? Let's take out the insert for now. Okay, you do not need to keep doing that. We're just gonna raise everything up in here. What the heck happened here? Why does all this sound like that? Hang on, let me hear this again. We gotta work on those transitions. A lot. And I mean a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put these right next to each other. I'm gonna shrink this down just so I don't get confused. I'm still thinking about it. I'm gonna toss the idea in my head while I work on this. Because now I'm honestly not entirely sure if I still want that. We're gonna go ahead and go into slip mode so I can do this a little bit better. That way we have just a little bit more of an easier transition between these. What the heck is happening here? Do I even want to know? Probably not. Okay, that's way too much. Hang on. With the way you look at me, I can tell you've got to be one to set me free. Oh, and I know I've got to learn how to not be so concerned. Let me be the one I earn. Oh, don't ever think I'll disappear. When you see me crystal clear, I'll be standing right here for you. I can't get you off my mind. You're a treasure lost to time. Walk across the desert blind for you. There's a lot of like nuances with the timing that I gotta do. It's meant to be very reminiscent of those old like radio like pop songs that you'd hear. Um, because I what was I listening to? I think like I pulled up like some old hits of mine I had from like 2010. I have a playlist here of just 2010 bangers. And it's a playlist I made. I just call it pretty self-explanatory. And I just started like listening through this very like quickly. I was like, okay, first song, 15 seconds of this song, okay, skip. 15 seconds of this song, skip. 15 seconds of this song, skip. And then eventually, I think I found myself into 5 Seconds of Summer because Fran recommended it for the project. And I was like, okay, I'll add that to the rotation. And somehow, that like speed listening is what got us here. I'm like, whoa, whoa. How do we create something this interest? I'm gonna say interesting. So okay, I want to talk about something very quickly because I was having a chat with one of my professors actually about this very topic. Um, never, never say you aren't giving it your all. Like, would you? So here's what the deal was. Would you work on a project and say, "Yeah, I wish I did better," or "Yeah, I could have done better." Like, I don't know. I feel like I didn't give it my all. Never do that. Under any circumstances, no matter what medium of art you're in, do not say that. Because what this means is that for other potential clients, you are not giving them your all. You are not giving them your 100%. And why would they hire you for that? And so I was thinking about that. I'm like, that's actually pretty interesting. I hate this, or I used to hate this song. I will say that. I thought it was the cheesiest thing I've ever written. I was like, there's no way I would post this anywhere. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, holy crap, what's up, Jagger? Drink your freaking water? All right. Yeah, sure. I'll take a drink to that. I am slowly running out of water. But I was chatting with my professor, and he was saying, yeah, like, you never want to tell someone that you're not proud of what you do. Because if you do, that's going to lower their expectations of you and your work. Or it's going to lower their expectations of your work and by extension, you. You're not going to give them everything. So why would they bother hiring you versus someone else who's going to give them the 100%? And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And so after that, I went back. Give me everything right now. Later, Jagger. I'll give you the after stream. I swear to God. But looking back at that, because I had this discussion after writing the song, and if you guys were around when I first created it, I was bashing the song to Kingdom Come. I was like, this is the cheesiest shit I've ever written. This took me 20 minutes. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it. That's the wrong approach to have to something like this. I'm actually really proud of what I did for Truth or Dare. I think Truth or Dare is. Hang on, let me allow that. King does come. Okay, yeah. Sorry, you got automated, Jagger. But I think he do be. This is very true. He do be. All right, so now you're just fucking around with the auto mod. All right, I see. But no, I think I've actually started to lighten my opinions on this song in particular because I'm like, wow, this song sucks. I don't know why people are liking this versus my other stuff. It's the wrong. Hold up, will I derail your whole stream? Yeah, okay. So challenge succeeded, Jagger. But yeah, so now I sort of have a new opinion of it, and I actually really like how this. I'm gonna go ahead and move this back to where it should be. Nope, I remember why I didn't do that. I remember why it's still out there still. The song is fire. Okay, I can't keep like auto-modding. I can't keep allowing auto-mod to pass that. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with you, Jagger. But yeah, no. So I've lightened my opinions on this song, and I actually kind of have come around to it. I've actually started to warm up a lot to it. This mod hate. I don't know if I should allow that. Now you're just fucking with me and the auto mod. I'm sure you are, Jagger. But I do believe that oh, you found a workaround. Genius. I do believe that the song does need new vocals. The vocals actually are kind of subpar. And now that I've sort of changed my opinion on this track in particular, I have new motivation to go back to it and actually finish it. So, yeah, we have it in its current state, and I actually kind of like the vibe of it now. I'm coming so hard. Good for you, Jagger. Good for you, my friend.
Every time you walk on by, swear there's something in your eyes. You know how to make my knees feel weak.
Okay, so one letter
Every
makes a
time
difference.
I hear
Apparently.
you speak, life without you seems so bleak.
You know, that's just the automod on Twitch.
With the way you look at me, I can tell you've got to be.
This song goes out to Jagger, by the way.
Free. Oh, and I know I've got to learn how to not be so concerned and have you be the one I earned. Oh, don't ever think I'll disappear when you see me crystal clear. I'll be standing right here for you. I can't get you off my mind. You're a treasure lost to time. We walk across the desert blind for you. With the way you look at me, I can tell you've got to be the one to set me free. Oh, and I know I've got to learn how to not be so concerned and have you be the one I earned. Oh, with the way you look at me, I can tell you've got to be the one to set me free. Oh, and I know I've got to learn how to not be so concerned and have you be the one I earned. Oh.
So yeah, I've really come around to this song now, and I've left it alone for like about 2 months, 2 to 3 months, and I've actually yeah, I'm more proud of it now than I was back then because I realized that it's a skill. It's an actual skill in order to write a song like this in 20 minutes. I still have the demo file on my phone. So I have this app that I use. It got recommended to me on Instagram, and I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? It's literally called Demo. But what it is I have a bunch of songs listed here in an app, and I'm able to write chords down. I'm able to start making different like loops very quickly in order to generate ideas and generate lyrics. And it's actually pretty good. I like the app. I don't know. I think there is a free side of it that I use, but there's also a premium side where you can unlock like more loops, more synth patches. Like if you want to create more detailed songs. Me before I come. What is that? Is it like a dancing jack-o'-lantern? It is. That's super cool. But yeah, I'm happy with this on like several different ways. But I know the lead vocal needs to change. But here's the thing: I'm gonna keep it cheesy. So singing like these very like syncopated rhythms, but also like having a little bit of nasal in it. With the way you look at me, I can tell you've got to be the one to set me free. Oh, so stuff like that is really what's gonna sell the song. What's really gonna make it goofy. And I'm leaning into it. I'm going full force into it now. But stuff like the first verse needs work.
Been addicted to your side.
There's something weird going on with the timing there and like how it got like melodined. So I just need to trash it and then redo it. But like the chorus.
No, I've got to learn how to not be so concerned and have you be the one I earned. Oh,
I'm also not entirely upset with the mixing of this. Considering this mixing took like maybe 2 hours. When the usual mixing process takes at least like 6 to 8. I don't know, I say I did it pretty well, pretty fast.
don't ever think I'll disappear. When you see me crystal clear, I'll be standing right here for you. I can get you off my mind. You're a treasure lost to time. I walk across the desert blind for you. With the way you look at me, I can tell you've got to be the one to set me free. Oh, and I know I've got to learn how to not be so concerned and have you be the one I earned. Oh, with the way you look at me, I can tell you've got to be the one to set me free. Oh, and
One thing that I also changed is that Fran said she really liked the song, but there's one thing that she really hated. And it was the fact that before we had it jumping from like these echoed like phone vocals into like proper vocals.
the one to set me free.
That's on the wrong track. Should be on this one.
Oh, oh,
Hello.
oh, and I know.
And she was like, yeah, that's not really landing for me. I'm like, fair enough. Let's go and let's put that on the proper echo track as a whole.
Want to set me free. Oh, and I know I've got to learn how to not be so concerned and have you be the one I earned. Oh,
Yeah, no, the lyrics are goofy. Literally, I just like thought of generic pop song stuff, and I was like, yeah, this'll pass. But then again, like I think there's, as I said before, there is some level of skill that has to go into it in order to make a song that quickly. While also like keeping it really upbeat and fun. I don't want to downplay this achievement anymore. Release a song, we will, Fran. We will. I was saying, okay, so Fran, I was talking about this earlier, but the song will get released. I need to redo some of the vocals. This is a threat. Apparently, it's a threat. We need to redo some of the lead vocals in order to get it properly ready. But I've come around to this. This song has grown on me, and I want to lean more into like the goofy like cheesiness of it. So I need to go back to the vocals, and I need to sort of lean into like the way that the chorus is sung.
you look at me, I can tell you've got to be the one to set me free. Oh, hey.
So yeah, doing stuff like that, like do it, embrace it. That's the goal. Keeping it more lighthearted, more goofy, I think is the way that I want to go with the song. And once we finish that, or actually, I think I'll go ahead and I will put out something this weekend for it. Just to like start getting traction while I finish up this track, because I've been sitting on this for a while, but I've come around to it and I actually kind of like it. So, you know, and as Fran pointed out, I think this could be a decent fit for the next Broken Mirrors album, considering the sound palette and everything. So this is going to officially be the marker, be the announcement of yes, this will be in Broken Mirrors too. When it will actually release, don't know, but this will be the. I will say this will be the next single. Followed by another one, which we have shown off on stream, but I will not say which one. There's one that's in the works right now that I really like and want to share off. This song will probably be early next year, like January or February, if I had to guess, if things go right. And then the song after that, I'm hoping for mid-year. And for the whole album release, that's still in the works. So stay tuned for that. This is where I'm going to leave you guys. It has been a really fun time. This Music Monday. Let's go over the schedule for this week. Wednesday, more Lunchbox. We'll be working on a new exhibit. Hopefully wrapping up something big for that. For that project for the zoo. Thursday, I'm hoping will be Baldur's Gate if Fran does not decide to ditch me again, or we have or if we don't have anything done. Friday, we'll be getting a main channel video. We're starting back up Red Dead for hopefully the final time, while we finish up the series. And Saturday is Soulcrafters. So yeah, that'll be fun. That's everything currently on the docket. I think I just saw that Bug is live. Yes, Bug is live. He's currently playing with our friend group. He is doing a recording session. So if you guys want to go tune into that, see what they're working on, I might be tuning in sometime after that. I got to go quickly take care of some stuff, but I will be lurking. So yes, go say hi to Bug. Thank you all so much for tuning in on today's live stream. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys are here and that you guys are supporting what I do. And yeah, we will see you guys on Wednesday. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.